Okay, we are back, and this video is going to be kind of just a good and bad breakdown of the Browns in Week 1, as well as an update for the rest of the AFC North and how they fared in Week 1 of the NFL season. The good, bad thing, I'm probably just going to do that for the initial reactions moving forward. I don't think I'm going to be doing, game summaries, because I'm assuming if you're watching my reaction video to it that you've probably already watched the game, so I don't need to be telling people what they already saw. So let's get right into it. The good for the Browns, obviously Cade York with his amazing day, kicking the 58-yard game-winning field goal. I also thought that Corey Bojorquez did very well punting the ball whenever the offensive drive would maybe stall out, especially with punting into a short field where he didn't have a whole lot of room to make some magic happen. I feel like he did a very good job of pinning the Panthers' offense deep with his punts. The kicking game in general was very good. The offensive line and the running game picked up right where they left off, right there where you would expect them to be. Ethan Posick, however you say his last name, he looks the part of a starting center. It's unfortunate that Nick Harris had to go down with an injury in the first preseason game, but next man up really seems to have gone into effect here. And Ethan's a veteran guy. He's been around the league for like 5 or 6 years now. He knows how to play, and he definitely showed that against the Panthers, where it didn't even look like there was a backup center in there. The offensive line was dominant. The running game was great. We finally saw the Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb in the same formation. It led to a touchdown on 1st and goal at the 1 with that pass to Kareem Hunt. So that formation works. We've been clamoring for it the last couple of years now, and it's finally come to fruition, and it's looking good. Donovan Peoples-Jones and Amari Cooper, the receiving core in general looked very good. I know Browns fans, and there's still a bit of a question of is that receiver group really going to be enough later on? But for this game, they did a good job of getting open. Kevin Stefanski did a nice job scheming them open. Jacoby Brissett didn't always hit them, but both, the receiving core, Donovan Peoples-Jones had some amazing grabs in this game. And Amari Cooper, he didn't have a fantastic stat line or anything, but he was getting open. He did well. It's just that, he didn't always get the ball. And the defense, on the defensive side of the ball, the defense was phenomenal for about 3.5 quarters. Myles Garrett with a couple sacks. The Grant Delpit interception obviously was tremendous. Tommy Togiai having a really nice drive, I believe, in the second or third quarter. But yeah, for most of the game, the defense was lights out phenomenal. Definitely looked like a top line unit, which leads us to the bad. And that was that in the fourth quarter, at least at the end of the fourth quarter, the defense had a collective brain fart for about, the last 10 minutes. Some blown coverages, missed assignments, letting Baker Mayfield just scramble in for a wide open rushing touchdown. Just some stuff that maybe it's like the week 1 thing where you didn't have to communicate as hard in the preseason maybe, or maybe it's just like the first away game, even though that stadium was half full of Browns fans. But there's just some, every defense is going to have some of these plays where, an assignment's missed or there's not a communication lapse or something like that. So it's not a huge deal, but like, it almost lost them the game, so it kind of actually is a big deal. It's not a big deal until it is. I guess it's one of those things where, a couple of them a game, if they're far away, then it's fine. But when it's all consecutively in the most important parts of the game and you let the team that was pretty much down and out get back in the lead, then that becomes a big issue. So hopefully the defense can settle down there. And this was another game where the Browns were in control for a lot of it, and then they let the team back in and became an exciting game, which has happened a lot with the Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry regime. It happened with the Cowboys and the Titans in 2020. Even that Steelers game in the playoffs didn't seem really over until it was actually over. The Steelers did make a bit of a comeback effort. And 2021, not a whole lot of blowouts for teams to come back from. Although I will say the Bengals game last year, where the Browns blew them out, was probably the most controlled the game that the Stefanski coaching staff and the Barry regime has had. So that's good for them. Hopefully they can learn to just keep their foot on the gas pedal in the second half of these games that they have control in. Jacoby Brissett did not look great. I know he got the job done in the end, so that's good for him. So it's not like he had a terrible game. But especially early, he had some bad misses. Even late in the game with that 3rd and 6, 3rd and 9 throw, whatever it was, to give the Panthers the ball back, only down 2. He missed that throw on 3rd down. We knew Jacoby Brissett was the backup plan. Obviously, with Deshaun Watson being out for as long as he is, he's going to be the starting plan for 10 more games at the very least. So hopefully he improves, but it might just be the Browns have to accept that Jacoby Brissett isn't going to give them the best quarterback play that they envisioned when they made the Deshaun Watson trade. And lastly, a little bit of a nitpick, Demetric Felton did not look great in the return game. He did muff a punt. Thankfully, the Browns recovered that. But yeah, I know they gave Jerome Ford returning duties as well. Just tell the punt returners to call fair catch, and tell the kickoff returners that if it's going in the end zone, just let it go in the end zone. I don't want every return to be like an adventure or anything like that. I don't want to see punt returners muffing the kick or kickoff returners returning it 5 yards deep. These have to be simple now, ever since the Jakeem Grant injury happened. And in the rest of the AFC North, in the beautiful division that this is, the Bengals and the Steelers with a Week 1 divisional face-off. The Bengals had the game won, last-second touchdown. They just had to kick an extra point to win, but it was blocked. And the kicking game for both teams, really, but especially the Bengals, just letting them down in overtime. They don't get the winning field goal on their drives. The Steelers, again, pull a win out of the depths of Hades. I don't know how they do it. The Steelers just pull crappy win out of crappy win. That defense is elite for the Steelers. I think TJ Watt is a massive blow, but I still think that Steelers defense is going to be really good without TJ Watt. It just brings the Steelers down from legitimately like one of the best defenses in the NFL to just a really good defense. And obviously TJ Watt's going to leave a huge hole there for them, which is unfortunate for the Steelers. I don't like seeing guys get hurt, even though I know this helps the Browns obviously, but this way is like, it's not a good way to get help in my opinion. I'd rather just beat a team with TJ Watt on it, with TJ Watt being healthy. But obviously TJ Watt being out as long as he is going to be a huge blow to the Steelers season. And for the Bengals, it's just another thing of you're losing another close game. Zach Taylor had some bad moments in there as well, not challenging that Jamar Chase touchdown catch that they didn't rule a touchdown catch. So obviously, the Steelers just keep winning somehow, some way. They managed to squeak into the playoffs last year. So maybe the Steelers they have some kind of like voodoo magic about them that gets them these crazy wins. And then the Ravens just destroyed the New York Jets with Joe Flacco at the helm because of the Zach Wilson injury. I think Lamar Jackson is definitely going to make the Ravens look foolish for not giving him an extension to where he wanted this offseason. I mean, if the Ravens aren't going to give him a bunch of money, then somebody will. And I know the Ravens can franchise tag him, but that's usually when, especially with quarterbacks, that's usually when these situations get hairy and ugly, and usually it doesn't even last the whole season usually. But I guess theoretically the Ravens can franchise tag him for a couple years. But as a Browns fan, I'm happy that they didn't give him an extension. I mean, as somebody who likes good decision making, it kind of irks me to see the Ravens not do right by the quarterback who their entire offense runs through, and who is pretty much not single-handedly, because they have a good defense too, but on the offensive side of the ball, he's responsible for all of their success pretty much so far. So as a Browns fan, keep not giving him money, and hopefully he goes to a different division, or maybe even in the NFC. But essentially, that's pretty much it. As of right now, the Browns, Steelers, and Ravens are 1-0, and the Bengals are 0-1. But that is only 1 week into the season, so the standings aren't really an issue there. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you would like to see more. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Browns game and the rest of the AFC North action in Week 1 in general down below. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.